About to be the clash of the titans. Strike like a lightning bolt. You feel the ground pounding, that might be the coast. Quick like a joke, like to hit when provoked. Don't you doubt that. That's a jaguar to a house cat. That's an outcast to a whole squadron. If you talking Houston, then we've got a problem. You'll probably get the horns if you mess with the cattle. Sit back in your saddle and get ready for the fan battle.
Hello, everyone. We'll give everyone a few minutes to log on. Hope everyone is having a fabulous week. I know Josh Allen is. And also Josh Allen on this podcast. Both of the Josh Allens are having a fantabulous week. So we'll give everybody a few minutes to log on and wait for some comments. Matt's really upset tonight because the Texans botched their first round pick.
I'm okay with it. I'm happy because that means Reese is gonna have to trade up to get the quarterback he wants. So I'm all right.
You didn't hear Chris Ballard today?
You do
He's
look like you're
all
pouting.
in.
You do.
That's a smart thing, man. I just feel like.
Are you happy that Chris Ballard has a job still?
No, not at all.
Well, we'll dive into that.
0%
All right.
happiness there.
We're going to make this one a quick one because everyone's tired of hearing from the Jags fans already, and you're going to get extra tired of it tonight. Y'all ready?
Yep, let's roll.
Hello, everybody, and thank you for tuning in to the AFC South Fan Battle Podcast. My name is Samantha Wernett. Welcome to the Week 18 recap episode, where we already know what happens. The Jaguars have clinched the AFC South Division for the 2022-2023 season. Round of applause. No?
I'm not clapping at that.
Second time.
Hold on. Hate me or love me. You watched. That's all you could do.
That's right.
That's all I can tell the rest of you bums in the division.
Oh, man.
Well, let's introduce our commentators for this evening, representing the number one Jaguars, the one and only second best Josh Allen.
That's right. Second best only to the Josh Allen in Jacksonville. And the bum in Buffalo, we don't even recognize as part of the Josh Allen club because he's in the playoffs and so are we. And may the fleas of 1,000 camels infest his armpits.
Representing the Titans, second place, we have RJ Ellison.
How y'all doing? You know what I'm saying? Hey, big moves finna happen in this offseason for the Titans. It's going to be a long one. But, hey, we're going to come back for that division next year. Watch what I tell you.
Representing the Colts, we have Harish Nukala.
I'm still trying to figure out why Chris Ballard is still my GM.
Oh, aren't we all, buddy? Aren't we all? And representing the Texans, we have Matt Briggs, coming live from the basement.
Ben Johnson. That's all I gotta say. Ben.
Oh, remember that name?
You start saying a new name every week, Matt.
Yeah.
Well, hey, let's not waste any time. Let's jump right into it. Of course, like we said, Jaguars are number one in the AFC South, and we'll break down that game a little bit. And mainly this episode, we're going to be kind of reflecting on the 2022 season because it was a doozy for some of our teams. We had a lot of moves happen between yesterday with the Titans and the Texans, and just a lot of stuff going on with some of our AFC South teams. So to start, NFL news, we're going to talk about draft order and the opponents. And I'm not going to go through everybody's opponents because that'd be a big waste of time. But for the AFC South, they've gone ahead and announced the opponents. Houston Texans, of course, everybody in our division. And then you guys got the Cardinals, Browns, Broncos, Saints, Steelers, and Buccaneers.
Yeah, we play everybody in the AFC North this year.
Yeah, and that's the intra-conference.
Yeah. We got the NFC South, too. So.
Yeah.
Thank God the Jags don't have to have the Steelers come to Jacksonville. Talk about fan bases I hate more than the Titans. Blech.
And then the away games for the Texans are, of course, our teams, and then the Falcons, Ravens, Panthers, Bengals, Jets. The Colts, the home games are AFC South, and then Browns, Raiders, Rams, Saints, Steelers, Bucks. The away games are the AFC South and Falcons, Ravens, Panthers, Bengals, Patriots. Titans, home, you guys have AFC South, Falcons, Ravens, Panthers, Bengals, Chargers, Seahawks. Away, you have AFC South, Browns, Dolphins, Saints, Steelers, and Buccaneers.
Oh, we got the Ravens at home. Oh yeah, hey, we got to pay back.
They're gonna step on these logos so hard.
Sit ass showdown.
And then the Jacksonville Jaguars have AFC South. This is home. Falcons, Ravens, Panthers, Bengals, Chiefs, Niners, and away AFC South, Bills, Browns, Saints, Steelers, and Buccaneers. So that's a breakdown of the 2023 opponents. And then, of course, draft order thus far. Of course, we're still waiting on some stuff coming in. We have the Houston Texans botching their number 1 pick. Chicago Bears are number 1. Houston Texans at number 2. We got the Colts at 4. We got the Titans at 11. And the Jaguars currently contingent on 21.
Ooh, you skipped one.
What?
Texans at 12.
Oh, they had
Oh,
two
that's right.
first-round
You guys got 2 picks.
Oh,
Thanks-
Browns
thanks to the
traded to
Predator.
Houston.
Yeah.
Yeah, traded to Houston. Okay, sorry, my bad.
Yeah,
My
two
bad.
picks you'll waste. So congrats.
And then of
You were
course,
not wrong, sir.
Lineman.
You're not wrong.
and then of course we got the Super Wild Card weekend this weekend, where we will see our very own Jacksonville Jaguars performing at 8:15 on
Hey,
Saturday.
who are y'all's teams playing on Saturday?
We're trying to
You
play.
guys,
We're
You
trying
guys
to play.
playing? Oh,
They're-
are the Jags the only one in the playoffs? Oh, would you look at that? Would you look?
We're
at
playing
that?
hopscotch. Okay,
It's not going to last long.
Justin
First
Herbert
game.
might throw all over that field. Honestly,
It's gonna be a TCU rematch.
Oh God, I hope not. That's embarrassing.
Yeah, we're gonna. The Jags are gonna
Right,
SEC.
no.
The Jags are gonna SEC the Chargers on Saturday.
Yeah, so
Jags by
4:30 4:30 Saturday we got Seattle at San Francisco, 8:15 Chargers at Jacksonville. Sunday at 1 we got, which I was hoping we would have gotten,
Yeah, you tell 'em,
1 or
Chester.
4:30 game. But Sunday at 1 we got Miami at Buffalo, and then at 4:30 New York Giants at Minnesota Vikings. 8:15 Baltimore at Cincinnati, and then Monday Dallas at Tampa Bay, which
Ugh.
why are
you
they
know-
getting a Monday night spot? You know what I
You
mean?
know
Not
what,
because
I-
putting the
Dallas.
Cowboys
I
in
mean-
prime time.
Do you
It's the
really
Cowboys
need
and it's
to-
Tom Brady. That's why.
I know,
Hold-
but
hey.
God. Ugh.
Am I the only one that didn't know the stat that Tom Brady is undefeated against the Cowboys?
Yeah, and he's going to stay that way.
No.
Yeah, so he has never lost to the Cowboys ever.
Well, he's about
It's
to.
about to lose to
I-
the Cowboys.
Nah,
I don't
man.
know.
I ain't going to lie. I
Don't
feel like they're
know,
going to beat
bro.
them, man.
Tom
Dak's
Brady's
playing
never
pretty
lost
terrible.
the first round in the playoffs either. So
Yeah, Tom
the
Brady, he
first
goaded,
round,
man, in the playoffs, man. We should
Blake
know that by now.
Bortles. Blake
Nah, he's
Bortles
not
has a
undefeated
better-
in the first round. We beat him.
Man, Blake
That was
Bortles
second
has a
round, sir.
better.
Oh.
Blake Bortles has a better playoff record than Dak Prescott. So
That is true.
That doesn't mean anything.
That
Yeah, Dak
is-
Prescott, I don't know. He's trash,
That-
dude.
that
Like,
is
I
the
I
same
lose
route.
watching him play the
Tom Brady this
Redskins. He looks sorry. Huh?
I think
that
Michael
is
Parsons
rev-
is gonna. I think
that
Michael
equals
Parsons,
to the same about Ohio State quarterbacks coming into the
they do
draft.
suck.
Right.
Go ahead and draft CJ Stroud and see. Go ahead,
Right.
let your team draft CJ Stroud.
Let's-
You'll find out.
I hope my team drafts CJ Stroud.
I think CJ Stroud's good, man. I think he's a really good quarterback. I
Oh,
don't think he's better than
not-
Bryce,
All
but
right,
He's
he's
a
all right.
college
good.
quarterback.
Sorry,
He's
RJ,
not
I don't know
better
if
than
you
Brian.
heard, but he's automatically disqualified.
Gabriel, no, hold on. Put that comment back up. Get out of here, Gabriel. Get out of Take your loss. Take your medicine.
Hey, nah, I can't even agree with that. I think it was a fumble, and I'm a Titans fan. So,
But I
yeah.
will tell you, in the stands, nobody cheered until they confirmed it. Like a little bit of cheering, but everyone was like, "Uh-oh, we think that's coming back. There's no way that's going to stand." And then when they confirmed it, it felt like they confirmed it fast too. And then like the stadium went nuts.
It didn't feel fast to me. It felt like it took forever, but everything was in slow-mo that day. So, well, let's go ahead and break down our team's games.
Should we talk? Hey, should we give a
Oh.
quick update on DeMar Hamlin? He's out of
Oh,
the
yes.
hospital. I don't know if you guys heard.
He is
I did not hear that he was
Yeah, I
out,
think
so
that-
I was
Yep.
I
At
was
home.
loving watching him like tweeting and he did the little heart with his
Yep.
parents on both sides of him, which, you know, gave me the chills. I loved all the spray painted threes. I loved all the
Did you
all
see?
the coincidences that were happening, like
Yep.
his friends like catching balls or intercepting balls on the threes, and like the whole
And the Bills returning a kick, and it had been 3 years and 3 months since last time they returned a
Yeah.
kick off. Like, it was just,
You see what the Pittsburgh Steelers did? The
You get it?
CPR celebration. I was like, yo, they wow.
oh yeah.
That's
That was the worst.
Do you see
I
what
guess-
his doctors did? All of
No.
his doctors and nurses had his jersey on when they
Oh, that's
Oh, nice.
so
So there's a video of him on his Ring camera, like when he goes home. That just popped up on my timeline.
So
on Twitter.
did they ever decide what caused it?
I don't think they know.
if they did, they didn't release it.
yeah, they probably HIPAA violation, right? I'm sure they haven't released
Well, they
it.
said that they were going to release as much as he was comfortable, and
Yeah.
so
Oh,
when
yeah.
when I was on that Zoom or watched that Zoom that they had with the doctors, they were kind of saying they were looking at like genetic things and stuff like that. So
Oh, interesting.
yeah.
Crazy.
before we do move on again, also the ex-Browns running back Peyton Hillis, he almost died saving his children.
Yeah, I seen that.
He's in critical condition. He might not make it. So
Yeah.
Is he still critical?
yeah, Barry.
Jeez, man.
He's in the coma.
Oh, yeah, that hurts.
Yeah, it's wild.
Well, I'm glad, you know, last week's episode kind of was a blur because everything with Damar Hamlin was happening as that episode went live. So it was kind of like we were getting news in as it was happening, and then I pretty much didn't sleep that night. I spent like the next 3 days just refreshing Twitter.
Yeah. Seriously.
So I'm glad that he's okay, and I'm glad that he's home. Even if he never, so what I hope comes of this is, I know in order to get like pensions and stuff, they have to play like 3 years of football with downs or something like that. I can't remember how they work it out with the NFLPA. So I hope that if nothing else, the Bills let him come back next year and even do like take a knee, so he can say he played.
Well,
a third.
did you hear that the NFL and the NFLPA have decided that they're going to
Pay out his contract, right?
pay him more? It's like
Yeah.
$3.25 million.
Yeah, but if you think about it, for your life, that's not much.
Oh, it's not, but I mean, it's enough to.
I mean, they didn't have to do it, right?
They didn't have
Other
to do
than-
it. Yeah.
Right,
Yeah.
it's something up for
But they
life.
might have,
I mean,
yeah, but they may have, you know, there's always things
That
come with
smells a
that.
little bit like trying to
DNR.
cover their rear in advance, right? Like,
Yeah, like sign this and you can't sue us now.
yeah,
And what do they call it when you can't discuss?
NDA, non-disclosure agreement.
Yeah.
We'll give
Well, I
you
mean, that's something they gotta
$3.25 million
fix
if you
with
sign
it.
this NDA.
well, that's something they got to fix with the NFLPA. I mean, that's their job, right?
Well, that's what I'm saying. That's why I hope they allow him to play so he can keep his health insurance. So he can.
I hope he just comes back and is completely healthy. I
Yeah.
hope it was just some sort of fluke, 1 in a million sort of coincidence. And I
Right.
hope he's,
Yeah, well, the diagnosis itself, right, is a rare diagnosis. Like, what happened to him was very
Well, we don't know what the diagnosis is.
the initial impression of what caused.
No, that was a speculation from the internet.
No, I've actually spoke to. I mean, we can have conversations offline, but I know paramedics that have dealt with stuff like this, and they're like, "Dude, what happened to him was super rare." Like,
Right,
apparently,
but if you watch, so I shared videos from that press conference. If you watch them, they're on my Facebook.
Yeah.
They said that they were very specifically, what they said was, we are considering, before that, they're considering more common genetic and fixable things before they would consider that, because that's even more rare than some of the other things that they were considering.
yeah,
So it was speculated, but it's still not. And that was my problem with all these, like, they're just as bad as couch coaches, but we can get away with couch coaching. But all these
Yeah.
couch doctors that immediately wanted to jump to like, oh, it was this, it was that. No, just wait and see what the doctors say it was, because you can't just say it's something, you know what I mean? That was nothing outside of a routine tackle,
yeah, no, for sure.
Yeah, by NFL standards, we talked about it last week, it wasn't really even a violent hit, like
No.
Yeah.
in comparison to some others, right? Like,
And
Yeah,
I
he
was
got up
saying,
like it
like,
was
we
normal.
didn't even see what happened the play before, because the play before could have done something even more.
Oh, that's a good
Because
point.
if you
Yeah.
if you watch him during that play, his arms already kind of look like he doesn't grab them with force or anything like a defender would, if that makes sense. So
Interesting.
yeah.
I didn't even
But
think.
Who
Of
knows
good
if
news
we-
is he's out of the hospital.
that's all
He's
that
on the road to
matters.
recovery.
That is literally all that
Sorry, I got us
matters.
sidetracked. I just thought that was a good news story.
It
that we
is a
should
good
touch
news
on.
story. I honestly did not even realize he was out of the hospital already. So I'm glad to hear that, because I've been kind of since Saturday incognito. So I'm
Yep.
really glad to hear that he's home. I knew he was okay, but I'm glad to hear that he's home. So anyway, all right, moving on. The toilet bowl. Colts and Texans.
So, can I go first because my analysis is very easy.
Go ahead.
I did not watch the game because I was house hunting, so I actually don't even know what happened. I do know that we lost, and I'm very grateful for that.
So you're saying you'd rather look for a future home for yourself than watch your team lose?
Correct.
Oh, how dare you!
How dare me?
How
How
dare
dare me
you
look
be
out for my
irresponsible.
future?
How dare you be a responsible adult? God.
I did find one, by the way.
Well, congratulations.
Well, so where do you give us a recap, a quick recap? 2022 season, you guys fired your coach. You still have Chris Ballard there. You have another elderly quarterback. Where do you go? Give us a quick recap, and where do you go from here? What is the immediate need?
A quarterback that's not over 35 is the immediate need. I you know what? I've even gone as far as you give up the house to get the number 1 pick. You give up everything. I don't Quentin Nelson, Shaq Leonard. If you want him, you can have him. But I think the Colts have to do everything they can to get the number 1 pick. And obviously the team that you have now isn't the team. Ballard, this is basically Chris Ballard's last shot at this. The fact that he's even here is bugging me already, but that's what we got, right? He's here. So you have to give up the house to go get the number 1 pick. And you got to go get the quarterback, or else anything you do now, obviously the team is flawed. It's a toxic locker room. Players quit. Like it's you've got to find that coach quarterback combination. And if you do anything short of that, then I have zero faith in this GM moving forward. Not that I have any right now.
When the Colts bring in Aaron Rodgers, will you buy his jersey?
Nope.
I already said Joe Flacco.
Nope.
Oh, that's
Well,
even better.
before you always said that the problem was Frank Reich.
He was part of the problem.
Okay, so there was multiple problems then.
Yeah. Frank Reich was a big part of the problem. Listen, here's the thing about Frank Reich, and I've said since that game in Jacksonville last year, Frank Reich should have been gone. There's no reason that this team should have ever started 1-4, 1-5, 1-5-1, 0-1 ever. There's simply no reason, right? This year, I told you guys when the season started, our chances in the division were decided within the first 6 weeks, and obviously we know how that turned out. But to go 4-11-1, that's just embarrassing. Like
I think your team doesn't have a quarterback. I think that's the main problem. Like that's what we've seen, even with no offense, RJ, the Titans is even with the greatness of Derrick Henry and a superb defense, like. The Jags can attest to this for many, many years. Without a quarterback, like everything else is, somewhat pointless.
I mean, this is just beyond this season, right? I'm talking about the 6 years Chris Ballard has been here. To tell me he hasn't won the division a single time, I think is bullshit. Honestly, like I hate it so much. Like it's not like this is like the greatest division in football, and he's just struggled. Regardless, he should have won the division with Phillip Rivers. Should have won the division last year. Should have won the division with Andrew Luck in 2018. Like, it's not like he hasn't had chances to win this division. It's not like this is the most coveted division in football. This division sucks. And more often than not, on paper, the Colts have had the best roster in the division. Like, there's zero excuse that Chris Ballard has never won the division in 6 years.
Yeah, I watched a little bit of the game, and it felt like a microcosm of the Colts season. They had the Texans on the ropes.
Yeah,
They were, they were down early. They came back. They're beating them, and then all of a sudden, it's just like what happened, and here come the Texans, and they win. So it was weird. It was a weird game.
Yeah, they just do dumb shit all game. Have like 18. Now, how you have 18, like the amount of false starts they had with the line that they have just doesn't make any sense to me. Like we're not talking just like the guys that suck on the O line. We're talking Quentin Nelson having false starts and Braden Smith and just stupid things that the team has just done all year. Now, I will put myself on a pedestal, and I'm very excited. Paris Campbell finally played a full NFL season. I've been saying it for years. When that guy plays, when he can play football and he can stay healthy, he can be a weapon. And I'm telling you, if they don't bring him back, they're going to be stupid if they don't bring that guy back because they can get him on the cheap right now.
Did you guys pipe in the crowd noise when your offense was playing? Is that maybe part of the reason for all the false starts, or maybe you had a new operator on the crowd noise CD in the media booth?
I do want to clarify something really quick. He is not home, but he is back in Buffalo. So I guess
about DeMar Hamlin.
Yes.
He's out of the hospital.
No, he's back.
He's back in Buffalo.
He was released from the Cincinnati hospital to the Buffalo hospital. Some major outlets weren't very clear in this in their reporting. So he is back in Buffalo being evaluated at a Buffalo hospital. Buffalo General Hospital.
If you look at the tweet that I just sent you guys in our group chat for this podcast, there's a video of him just in his own Ring camera.
Yeah, I saw that.
So I think that's.
I don't know. Yeah.
Either way, he's out of the.
He's out of the hospital. But
yeah, he's
Yeah, they're saying that he is being treated at the Buffalo hospital. So he stepped down at least.
Yeah. But anyway, I'm happy for Hamlin. Very, very, very happy for him. What he's been through over the last week is just wild. So I'm glad to hear that he's okay.
Yeah, where we are versus what it looked like was going to be.
Yeah.
Last week it's pretty
very promising for sure. Yeah. But yeah, I'm still really upset, and I still have to go through this 40-minute bull crap that Ballard's going to feed us today at his presser today. So I'll let you guys know how I feel about that. I'd probably
are you all in? So you all in on getting Bryce Young? That's what you.
No, I don't care. I don't care if it's Bryce Young. Here's my thing, and Matt kind of said this, and I didn't feel this way until the cards fell. With the Bears being the number one pick, they're going to trade down. They don't need a quarterback.
Yeah.
Everybody's going to do everything they can to get into that spot, right? I think Stroud and Young are going 1 and 2, right? And in my opinion, in order to get to have a choice, right, to have free range of choice of that quarterback, knowing that is your need, you have to give up the house.
Yeah.
And I get Colts fans don't want to do that, but you got to blow this thing up at least partially. There's no way. I think you can keep some pieces of this team, but you've got to be willing to blow it up in order to get that top spot.
Yeah, and that's a smart thing to do because you're not going to, in the way this league is set up, man, you're not doing nothing without a quarterback. It's just not going to happen. I keep telling Titan fans that you're not going to do nothing without a quarterback.
Yeah. We sucked and we couldn't tank our way to get a top 2 pick. And Colts fans are like, well, we can just tank next year and go out to quarterback next year. Dude, the Colts are like the worst tanking team in the history of tanking. Like, they don't know how to tank for shit.
Neither do the Texans.
I was going to say, I think the Texans may disagree.
Yeah,
crowning your team.
like how we ended up number 4 is just mind-boggling to me. But, yeah, I do think they have to give up the house. And
we pulled the New York Jets of last year.
Yeah, y'all did all you could to beat the Titans, and then y'all turn around and beat the Colts. I'm like, okay, I guess they don't want the number 1 pick.
Right.
Well, I hope that it turns out to be a good draft for you, and cheers to a better season, I guess. I don't know.
You don't care, Sam. Quit faking.
No, I really don't. Matt.
I mean, yeah, it's kind of the same thing he said. Like, it's whoever won to lose the most, and obviously it was the Colts. Like, that guy could have picked it off in the end zone, and he just let it go right through his hands. Like we all knew what he was doing. Like, come on, bro. But if you watch the game, Cal McNair was on the sideline, and when they went for 2, you can read his lips. He's saying, "What the fuck are you doing?" Like he was mad.
Yeah, Lovie Smith may be the only coach in the history of the NFL that got fired for winning.
Yeah, he said,
Yeah.
Lovie Smith, "Oh, I'm getting fired." Well, fuck you guys, and won the game.
Which is more reason to fire him, because if he can get that sort of performance out of the team in the last game of the year, why wasn't he doing that all season?
Because they were playing the Colts. Was it a performance? I don't know. It was.
I mean, they almost beat the Kansas City Chiefs. They almost beat the Cowboys. Yeah, it was a lot of. It wasn't just this game.
Right.
And the Titans almost beat the Jaguars, RJ, but.
But yeah, he got fired the same night. Which I kind of wish we did at the same time. Not Ballard, but Frank Wright got fired. I just don't think he was the coach, but I can see why, because of the optics. People are already making claims that aren't true, but that's just how the cookie crumbles. But now to the next coach.
Who's that going to be?
So yeah, I was about to say, like, what for both of y'all?
Well, right now there's I think 6 people. It's Ben Johnson, D'Amico Ryans. I can't pronounce the OC for the Eagles name. The DC for the Eagles. Yeah. Gannon, Avero, and Mike Kafka. My top 3 is either Mike Kafka, because he runs the Andy Reid scheme, Ben Johnson, and D'Amico Ryans. I would love to have those guys.
Yeah, I actually think we kind of have similar candidates.
I do not want Eric Bieniemy nowhere near my team. I don't think he's
telling you. Todd Downing's available, Matt.
Get Todd Downing, man. He need a coach.
We already had him and Tim Kelly and Bill O'Brien. I'm good.
So it looks like the coach, the Colts just asked for Ejiro Evero today. I saw that.
So I think Saturday's going to be in the running.
He is in the running. He's got an interview.
He's going to get an interview, and I think and that really.
Ain't nobody trying to interview Sean Payton.
Sean's not coming to you.
Problem with Sean Payton is you got to trade the Saints for him. You got to give away draft picks to get him.
Yeah.
If he goes anywhere, it's going to be Dallas.
I'm sure they want a first round pick.
Oh, RJ, you got a compliment from the group.
Yeah,
RJ is the best Titans fans in the group.
Drunk.
No, man, he's telling the truth, man. Hey, keep up the good work, man.
You know what? You know the name that struck me that the Colts are interviewing that's interesting is Raheem Morris, the Rams DC. I think that's an interesting name. I mean, I'm not for or against him.
I think we have him too. I'm not 100% sure.
One guy I really like to see get an interview is Deuce Staley.
Y'all also interviewed Aaron Glenn, which I don't think would be a bad.
I mean, if you look at what's happening over there in Detroit, I mean, why not, right? I mean, they've obviously shifted the culture there. Detroit laughed in Green Bay's face, and they had a good time. So maybe we can have good times and laugh in y'all's faces next year.
I do want to say,
I don't see it. Gotta say, I don't see it.
I do want to address.
Neither, but hey,
to address this question, I thought D'Amico didn't want nothing to do with Houston. That's all false. He had a lawsuit against the Houston Texans because of his injury, was settled out of court. So yes, he does have something. Him and Cal McNair are still very close. So hopefully,
I drove through Houston once. I can understand why people wouldn't want to go there.
I try to avoid Houston. I think for me though, I think the entire coaching staff needs to go. I think they all suck. Reggie Wayne too. I think they all suck, honestly.
Oh man, not Reggie Wayne.
Yeah, sorry.
The guy he thought Matt Ryan would pay Manning.
Yeah. That's
Lil Wayne's brother, right?
Sure.
Yes.
That name before.
But
that's the regular Wayne because he's Reggie Wayne.
Full size. It's full size Wayne.
That's normal.
Yeah, I'm glad. I mean, it didn't matter to me if we won or lost, but I'm kind of glad that we won because, like I said, now the Colts have to jump up to get the quarterback they want because a team's going to do it.
Yeah.
So if they don't do it, they're going to get either Anthony Richardson or Will Levis, and those two guys their projects.
Suck
I think Anthony Richardson
balls.
is another Malik Willis. Just a project that is not.
As a
good.
Gator fan, I can chime in on that, and I will tell you that I would not want my team to draft him with a first or second round pick.
Exactly.
If you were to pick up Anthony
That is
Richardson
my
in the
fear.
third round, fourth round, then it's worth what you're getting there.
Right.
He had very brilliant games at Florida, but he had many more games where it's just like, what is this dude doing? And listen, he's a good dude, good kid, the sort of person and human being that you want on your team. I having watched a lot of his football moments, I don't know how he could.
Are we talking about Tim Tebow right now?
No, we're talking about Anthony
Oh.
Richardson.
The black.
Hey, congratulations
Tim
to
Tebow.
Tebow, by the way, Hall of Famer.
Yeah. The black Tim Tebow.
Yeah, I'm one of the few Gator fans that I'm just so tired of Tim Tebow. I'm just so tired of hearing about him and hearing him talk. Like, I don't know, man.
I will tell you this: if we
over
end up with Will Levis or Anthony Richardson, I probably won't watch the Colts next year.
I literally
I've been calling
listen,
that Will Levis going to the
time
Colts,
out.
man.
I want to re-roll the tape from last season around this time because I'm pretty sure, or it might have been the beginning of the season. I remember Harish saying something similar. Like, I swear to God, if we blah, 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 I won't watch the Colts this season.
I think
know
if
you
we
will.
lose to the Texans. I think you're right. I think it was losing
Yeah.
to the Texans.
Yeah.
Oh, cool! So I don't have to watch the Colts next year.
No, you're off the hook, bro.
You guys should hire Tim Tebow as your coach.
So
But-
did the Texans technically sweep the Colts then?
I mean, they didn't
No.
lose.
They didn't
They
lose.
didn't
to him.
lose.
Well, that's.
You're wrong. AR-15 is not a good. You don't want him. I'm telling you.
Dude,
All
trust
right.
me. It's,
Listen,
yeah.
enough of the toilet bowl. We got all off season to
right.
dig into this.
Shut up, losers.
Let's dig into the battle for one.
I'll let my esteemed colleague go first. I'll let you give your thoughts first, RJ.
Okay, let's see. I mean,
he didn't seem too happy about that.
Listen, hold on.
He's like, okay.
Let me give like the little
here come
like
a Mayo joke.
no, not this time. That's for tomorrow's podcast on the Titans Bomb Team, okay? Because RJ's one of his little commentators made a bet with me about this game, and he's got to eat a spoonful of mayo. So make sure you tune into the Titans Coliseum tomorrow.
Yeah,
we can all
Morocco.
laugh.
And
Get
speaking of bets and Titans fans, make sure
Oh
you tune
yeah,
in
let it
next week
Firestone.
to see Leonard Firestone in his red, white, and blue beard.
That's
Yeah.
right.
AFC
That's
South.
right.
Yeah, we all got the short end of a bet. I had to change my profile to the Texas logo, Texas player. So,
Red, white, and blue. That's
Well, listen, this game got flexed. Everybody knew it was going to be a big game. I, for one, as a non-biased host, but Jaguar season ticket member, have never, ever seen the stadium that packed with Jaguar fans. It was absolutely insane. This was our Super Bowl. I don't care what anybody says. I will say it. Everybody says it as a slight, like, oh, congratulations on winning your Super Bowl. You know what? Thank you.
It was I think the biggest regular season game in the history of the franchise.
I was
Really?
more excited.
yeah, man, you see what he said, man. And never run.
As a
That's true.
lifetime Jaguars fan, was more excited about this game than I am the upcoming playoff game. Okay. But
That's partly because of the time slot. You hate the 8:15.
no, just in general.
past your
Like,
bedtime.
this is the first time since 2005 that the Jaguars swept the Titans. But the Titans have had the Jaguars number, and they have had every single inch and room to talk shit to us. So take it away, RJ. What the hell happened?
Well, I will say
And-
first thing is
Comment is Josh Dobbs your future? Because that's the rumor.
okay.
Real quick before you go, can you not make it injury excuses? Okay, go.
No, I wasn't even gonna talk about injuries. I wasn't gonna talk about injuries. It was a good game. I mean, it looked like a rivalry game. You know what I'm saying? Typical AFC South rivalry. I mean, both teams were going back and forth. The Titans controlled the game for probably about 3.5 quarters to the Josh Dobbs fumble. I mean, Josh Dobbs, I thought he played good for what he had, you know what I'm saying, out there with a sorry offensive line and some average receivers. I think Josh Dobbs didn't play that bad. I mean, he did have that one pick. I mean, it was the offensive lineman. He ran it. I mean, he blew that block, and Josh Dobbs underthrew a ball, and it got picked by I think Tyson Campbell.
Yep.
Derrick Henry had a couple good runs. I mean, our offensive line held on one of them that I felt like could have put the Jaguars away, but it was a good game.
Receivers didn't get open much. It didn't seem like.
Yeah, they wasn't getting open, and Traylon Burks was dropping passes too. So I mean, I'm starting to think that Traylon Burks is going to be a number 2 wide receiver for us, and we need to get a bona fide number 1.
What?
I think he's going to be number 2, man. I just
Was this his rookie year? This is his rookie year.
His rookie year, man. And I'm looking at skill set, man. I just don't think he's a number 1. He has a number 1 skill set. He doesn't have elite speed. He's just big, and big body receiver. I think we need to get a bona fide number 1 wide receiver. But like I said, looking forward to this draft. I mean, looking forward to this offseason, to these hires. We're looking at some San Francisco 49ers, and they're good at finding talent. Offensive coordinator, the guy I want right now is Joe Brady. That's my dude, man. I feel like he'd be the perfect candidate to develop Malik Willis like he developed Joe Burrow, so.
Really?
Yeah. I still think, man, as long as Derrick Henry is on our roster, man, we're not going to rebuild. And I've said that on multiple shows. We're going to come back for the AFC South title, man.
Sorry to tell you, but it's either going to be Bill O'Brien or Tim Kelly. I'm calling it now.
I feel like that's what it's going to be too. But, I got hopes and dreams, man.
Here's the thing. At what point do the Titans just blow it up? Because your team's not getting any younger. It's as great as the defense has been the last 2 years. It's been 2 years.
Yeah. Oh, RJ, Miss Nika wanted to say hi.
Yeah, she been letting me hear it. She made a video after they won and flicking me off. I thought she was gonna be on the show. I was like, oh Lord, I'm about to hear from her. No, I've been letting Jaguar fans have it, man. It's all fun and games, man. Look, I think the Jaguars have a really good future. We're gonna be always here to compete with them. Just like the Texans always compete with us. So it's gonna be
all about you, RJ.
Yeah.
Right now it is. Right now it's all about us. Yeah. We're gonna be back to get that.
So you guys went ahead and cleaned house yesterday. How do you feel about that?
I'm happy they got rid of everybody that I wanted them to get rid of. The offensive line.
You got rid of Downing, right? Oh, you got rid of
Downing. Get his garbage ass up out of here. He's sorry, man.
Wait, he's gone?
He's trash.
Yeah.
Damn.
Yeah, they arrested him. They finally arrested him.
Offensive line coach is gone. So no more of this extra boo-boo Dennis Daly offensive line. I'm tired of seeing it.
I still think Downing can't call plays when he's sober.
He need to get drunk or something, man. Our offensive line coach is gone. Our secondary coach is gone. I ain't got to deal with no more bad secondaries from here on out. Hey.
Unless you fire another bad coach. Got him.
Yeah, so who do you want them to pick up?
See, I don't really know any. Any.
Or what's a need? What's a need that you need to fill? You think at this time?
Well, right now we need to fire our strength and conditioning coach because he's trash. There's no way our whole team needs to get hurt 2 years in a row. That's strength and conditioning something like either player's not working hard enough on the offseason to stay healthy. I don't know what it is. These injuries got to do something.
I mean, did Derrick Henry work out shirtless around them all with chains around his neck? That might
need to work out with Derrick Henry because he didn't get hurt and he was the main one taking all the hits. So
That's true.
It's no excuses, man. There's no way they should have been this hurt. Like I get 1 or 2 injuries. I'm looking at everybody else's injury reports, and there was not one game this season where the Titans didn't have more injuries than the other team. Yeah. It wasn't one game.
There was a couple of weeks I think the Jaguars didn't have any.
Yeah, and the Jaguars were the healthiest team in football. Like that's the difference. Like how are they more healthy than us?
Well, age is a factor, that's for sure.
Mm-hmm.
But all right, Josh Allen, number 1.
First of all, let me just start. Let me choose violence for a minute. Michael Tessmer, listen, the Jaguars 100% do have a natural fan base, but when you live in a tropical paradise and your team is terrible for a decade and a half, there's better things to do than sit and bake in the sun and watch god awful football, bro.
But the Jaguars are getting a roof.
And
I mean,
is that
really?
So let me just dispel the myth. Yeah, it's going to cost $1 billion, but they're putting roofs over they're putting shade. Somehow they're putting shade over all the upper and lower bowl sections. There had to have been close to 80,000 people in that stadium. They sold standing room only tickets. We got down there. Sam and I rode together with a friend of mine. We got down there at 3:00 and people were blazed already, man. People have been out there drinking and partying for hours. I don't know if you've been around, one Florida man.
They had it.
But this was close to 80,000, Florida mans in this stadium. That place was rocking. It is next to being in the swamp in Gainesville, the loudest experience I've ever had.
And the most Jacksonville national anthem ever.
That was actually kind of dope. I'm not gonna lie.
The national anthem was dope, but I got to tell you, the halftime show was maybe the lamest halftime show I've ever seen in my life. It was awful. It was just some fireworks off the top of the scoreboard with some silly songs. But little clips of songs. Like, it wasn't even good, man. Like, it's like they were like, oh,
so
no.
They're talking about having Little Duval for the halftime
They
show.
should have Little Duval for the halftime
thought
show.
That'd be pretty dope.
But when the teams came out,
and they're talking about having Boosie Badass bring the team out.
Oh, yes, that would be
with the song.
I'm down for that. I'm for it. That would be the most Duval. Yeah. Yes. Arden Key with the big, boom box on his shoulder with Lil Boozy leading him out of the tunnel. I'm for it. But when the teams came out, because I was down close to the tunnel where the Titans came out, they were hyped up, they were ready, they looked loose, like they had nothing to lose. The Jags came out and they started to warm up. They do a close-up of Trevor Lawrence's face, and I said, uh-oh, because you could just see on his face the man looked nervous. I think he played nervous. It was loud, but it was a real tense feeling sometimes in the crowd. And let's just be perfectly honest, the Titans, for the most part, were controlling that game. They had the perfect offensive game plan with the personnel that they had in place. They saw something on the right side of the left side of the Jacksonville defense with the right side of the offensive line, because they ran to the first 14 times they ran the ball, they ran it off tackle to the right, or a sweep to the right, or they would misdirect to the left and come back to the right. So they figured, they did their film study. They kept the ball out of Trevor Lawrence's hands. Trevor Lawrence was playing tight. The Titans defense, I'm telling you, the Titans have a good defense. Like, hats off to the Titans. And I told people, because there was people running their mouths before the game saying, oh, it's going to be a blowout. The Jags are going to wipe the floor with them. They got all these injuries, blah, 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 blah. And I said, this is a division game. The Titans have literally nothing to lose. Every time the Titans kicked a field goal or were punting, like, the crowd screaming, watch the fake. It just felt like one of those games where the Titans were going to pull out all the stops. But it was, I don't know, it was just a fun experience. I'm glad that the Jags won. The defense found a way. Like, they figured out a way to stop Dennis Daly's on your left side. Okay, maybe that's why they ran to their strong side. I do think the Jags defense felt the absence of Dwan Smoot, who we lost in that Jets game. They didn't really have a whole lot of pass rush. They had at times, but throughout the game they didn't. But it was partly because Josh Dobbs was actually getting the ball out of his hands quick. Man, they were getting open, dinking it down, and just keeping the ball out of Trevor Lawrence's hands. And I think the one moment where I really said, "Oh no, we're in trouble," was when Trevor overthrew Zay Jones by like a mile. In the end zone.
In the end zone.
And I was just saying, oh no. I said we may be in actual trouble. But
There's
they found a way. Yeah, I mean, defense figured out a way to stop. I don't know what Caldwell does, the defensive coordinator at halftime. Whatever Henry was doing to get runs in the first half, they figured out how to stop that for the most part in the second half. They made some sort of an adjustment. Figured out what they were doing, and then as it does a lot of times with these big rivalry games, came down to one or two plays, man. Yeah. If Josh Dobbs managed to get his hand, 8 inches farther forward before that ball comes out, then that's an incomplete pass. And I'll just tell you, I think the Titans win the game. Like, I just think it's one of those where, ooh, boy, it was tense.
Yeah, we're going down to get a field goal instead of trying to score a TD.
Right.
I tell you what, that linebacker, I can't pronounce his name. Luka.
Aluakon.
Lucan,
Yeah.
what a name.
Foyesade Aluakon.
He led
Yeah,
the
I like-
NFL
he's a good player.
in tackles.
He
It says
did.
with 184. Yep.
Oh,
Yeah.
yeah.
Listen,
Yeah.
I'll just give an unpopular opinion. He's just the new flavor of Paul Posluszny. The way you beat Foye Aluakon is you just make him cover a tight end because he can't. He's
That's
a
the one.
liability.
He was the one who let him get that touchdown, wasn't he?
Mhm.
Yeah.
Yeah. I'll tell y'all now, man. Chiga Conquo, man, he's gonna be a problem. Like,
That was a heck of a catch, and that was right there.
Yeah,
I was in the
corner
corner section of the end zone. That was a grown man play.
Wait, who's
Man,
this?
if he would have caught that one TD, man, where
Rookie
he
tight
did
end
the
for the
Josh-
Titans.
the Josh Dobbs threw that back shoulder throw against that one cornerback, man, and he was all over him. I was like, man, if he'd have caught that, man, I feel like we could have won that game. You know, like I said, like you were saying, that this rivalry game comes down to 1 or 2 plays, and that's basically what happened. So
I also think Tyson Campbell is going to be a bright spot for you too, guys.
yeah,
you want-
I like
Tyson
Campbell.
Campbell's good, man. I like Tyson
Yeah,
Campbell.
he's a
Hey,
good player.
Harish, you want me to hurt your feelings real quick?
I mean, they're already crushed. So go.
Guess who's calling this game on the broadcast?
Oh, is it Pat McAfee?
No, I wish.
y'all get
Is
it?
it Peyton?
Tony Dungy.
Oh man,
Oh, it's NBC. Oh, it's the NBC game.
Yep. Tony Dungy is calling
So
this game.
how is that supposed to hurt my feelings?
Yeah,
Because isn't he like the star coach for you guys? I mean,
Yeah, like 20 years ago.
but still.
he's already did the damage with the coach though, man. So isn't it?
Wait, I'm
That-
confused. But where's the hurt part? I'm lost.
Because never mind.
Help me,
I
Sam.
figured that
Sam,
would hurt
speak
your
English.
feelings that your former all-star coach was calling our game.
Harish just
No,
Uno
it's
reversoed
because-
Sam in real life, and now her feelings are hurt because her.
I know. Oh.
Sam, he's
My
calling the
feelings
game.
are hurt that his feelings aren't hurt. Where?
He's calling the game because he works at the network that the game is being televised on, not
Well,
because it's the.
I mean,
Colts.
I'm aware of that.
No, clearly not.
I don't like literal Harish. You
I
know,
mean,
the one that
he's
I like
also,
I don't like the Harish that shops for houses and
All right, so two
Everything's
more.
literal these days.
Hey, but I will say though, man, this division is gonna be good in about 2 years. I think we're all gonna be.
man, I've been
competing
hearing
for
that
it.
forever. How many seasons have we been doing this?
We're gonna get all the young
trying
quarterbacks
to-
though.
we've been at this for a while now.
Well, one team is going to get an Ohio State quarterback, so we don't have to worry about that.
I mean, Alabama quarterbacks aren't that good either, so it's not like you feel me.
At least it's a
Yeah.
SEC school. I mean, you know. So,
What
you know,
good SEC quarterbacks besides Peyton Manning have there ever been? But no, let's not go down that rabbit hole.
Yes.
We can do that.
Yeah, you got with Joe Burrow.
ain't nobody got time for that. So, you know, I just think the hats off to the Jags fans for showing up. You know, it just was it was a crazy day, and it was a lot of fun. And I'll leave you with this story.
Oh God.
So we're sitting in one of the like areas where you can buy like concessions and stuff, and we're just sort of conserving energy because we want to yell and scream and act ignorant. No, come back, Sam. Don't you leave.
I'm here.
And Sam meets up with us and she's like, oh yeah, they gave me some problems coming through the you know, security coming into the game because of my solar power bank. And I said, oh yeah, why? I was like, what do you have a solar power bank for? Now, mind you, it's an 8 o'clock kickoff and the sun goes down at 5:30 in Florida on during the winter. And she's like, oh yeah, I brought my solar power bank so I can charge my phone
During the
like,
tailgate.
how you gonna charge your phone at night? The sun's not out.
Listen, the story with
you
that,
charging at
the
night?
story
Solar
with
power.
that is I was
Actually-
on. I wasn't gonna give the story, but I'll give the story now. So the night before, I was on Jaguars Reddit, who had shared a post from Titans Reddit of a Titans fan who shared a video of a UPS driver. He walks up his door. He sees a Titans flag outside. He looks at, writes a note, and then he rings the ring cam and he holds up this note in the thing and it says "Go Jags" with 2 exclamation points, and then he slaps it on his door. Very like respectful, a good fan battle. So I share this tweet the night before the game and I was like, someone find this guy so I can buy him a beer tomorrow. Well, this tweet took off. Even the mayor of Jacksonville retweeted it. And it made the news. I had like news producers calling me, and so then I had to find the Titans fan and be like, "Hey, bro, so I accidentally caused a firestorm by stealing your content. I hope you're not mad at me, but the producers of our news network want your permission." And so I ended up like like I was trying to meet up with both of them, and I did, and I got pictures in there on my Twitter and my Facebook. I met up with the Titans fan and the Jaguars fan. So the delivery driver met the homeowner, and I bought them beers, and it was a good time. But my phone kept blowing up, so I brought a solar charger that like folds out so I could plug my phone into it at the tailgate because we got there so early. That was the purpose, and so that way I could recharge the solar bank. But Josh didn't want to hear that and kept making fun of me, thinking I was going to charge my phone at night.
She said,
That's such a long
brought.
story.
She-
That's such
she
a
said
long story to talk about solar banks.
She said, I brought my solar bank so I could charge my phone today. And the sun's going down, and I'm like, how you going to charge
The
it?
solar charges the power bank.
Hold on.
Josh.
Michael Tessmer is continually choosing violence. Michael Tessmer, first of all, the Tampa Bay Lightning have more Stanley Cup wins than the Colts have Super Bowls. And secondly, you spelled
shut
lightning.
up.
So,
Go Preds.
Killing me, fam.
And he said the Colts are winning the Supper Bowl. The Supper Bowl next year.
We might not even win a breakfast bowl.
I think they won the Supper Bowl this year during the toilet.
No, the Texans won it.
Supper bowl.
Oh, and Nika said it was the gummy bears, and that's facts. So Miss Nika makes Everclear gummy bears for the tailgates.
Nice.
Oh yeah, she's trying to kill people. That's what
I'm
it
actually
is.
surprised. I'm actually surprised. Complete side note. I'm surprised that Sam has a solar bank to begin with.
Why
I
is
don't know
that?
why. I don't know why. I'm just like, just doesn't seem like you're the type of person that likes to get energy from the sun.
I live in hurricane. You know,
That's true. That's fair. Yeah.
you know.
I was trying to be funny. It didn't come off that way. But
yeah,
actually-
she is Sammy technical difficulty, so I was a little surprised too. I was like, wow, that's
Yeah.
surprising. But she didn't know how to use it, so it's kind of on brand.
Oh, okay. See, that's
The whole point is the sun charges the bank, and the bank charges your phone.
But Josh says it gets dark at 5:30 a.m.
Right, but the point was that if I had to plug it in, I could then charge it at the tailgate and still have battery in the power bank to plug my phone into at the game.
That's okay, Sam.
Good
worry about it.
gracious.
It's all right. The sun is hard to understand. You know, it's difficult.
Technology
Yes.
sucks.
Yes, Michael Tessmer, just so you know, Miss Nika is the queen. And if you would watch, he says must be one of these new Jags fans. Actually, we could tell that you haven't been doing very good trolling lately, and you
Bro,
took your
you're-
oath because Miss Nika is on this podcast, and we know that you won't join us on here again
She's the
because you'll
intro.
only talk behind.
Can we mute Testmer tonight?
You're
He's
Josh
killing
Dobson it up. tonight.
You're literally
You're
Matt
Josh
Ryan in
Dobson
the
it up,
comments.
man.
Like, let's
And let me give you a fun fact about Miss Nika, Michael Tessmer, and everybody else listening. Miss Nika was, if you saw the draft, not this past draft, but the one before where the
Yeah,
fans
I
went
see
up on the stage and sat in the chair, that was her. The Jaguars fan of the year. That was Miss Nika. That sat in
done.
Goodell's chair for the
And-
first pick.
So
And
put some
also,
respect, some respect
she-
on
I
her
seen that
name.
on her background. I was like, oh, that's dope.
She also called the season. She said that the Jacksonville Jaguars was going to win the division with that 9-8 record.
But I mean,
So-
Matt, it was always the Jags.
right,
Always.
you're right. I'm
Okay,
sorry.
can we? I know we're a little over here. I actually got to go in a little
Always.
bit. Can you give me the understanding behind it was always the Jags? Because I feel like there's something I'm missing here.
What did
I feel like that's some
Julie
cow.
Weird?
That's what I feel like. You sound like some cow.
It's always the Jags. I don't know
No,
what to tell
man,
you.
Why?
Here,
the
I
way
will-
I
I
was
will-
talking in the beginning of the season, it was not always the Jags.
I will show you where it came from, and then we'll
Please.
wrap it up.
Is it some tweet that you tweeted
No.
that got like a lot of coverage?
No, I wish.
'Cause
I wish
you
I was
seem to
that
have a lot of
Dewey-
those.
what did Dewey
Sam's
Weird?
it came from Sam's new favorite player now that she's divorced Jalen Ramsey.
Actually, he's growing on me. So,
Oh no.
Jalen Ramsey or
no, Dewey.
Both?
Where would I find the original one at? It was week 14. Here it is. All gas, no brakes. Here we go. Hold on. I will give it to you. It was actually funny because he's like, I should have copyrighted that, but it doesn't matter because money is a, what do you say? Money is a, I can't, something that Andrew Winger would say. I don't know. Hold on. What the heck? Hold on. I will find it. I promise. Hold on.
Sammy difficulty.
Hey, Flame Douglas. is
It
spelled-
was-
spelled Titans.
I see you playing.
Spelled-
Yeah, it was
spelled
never the
Titans
Jags.
wrong. It was never
That
the
was
Titans,
never
buddy.
the Jags.
It was never the Jags. It was the Jags for like the last 4 weeks.
I'm actually
listen,
glad Flame is here.
Flame has a lot of crap to be talking considering he sold his tickets to the last Titans home game. He's
Yeah.
like, get me out of this hell.
Yeah, no. Flame.
I don't
we're
know.
glad you're here.
I don't
Because you
know.
took
Hey,
the
don't
game
worry,
away.
Flame. We're gonna get him back next year. We're gonna
I
get
don't
him
know
back.
a Flame. I know a Jonathan. I don't know a Flame Douglas.
No,
All
no,
I
I'm
know
glad
is
Flame is
Jonathan.
here.
Was that the Ravens game that happened?
Texans.
Or the no, when
It
he
was
first
the
said
last
that.
home game was the Cowboys game.
No, it was the Raiders, wasn't it? What was the
Last
game
home
that he
game
said
was-
that for the first time? No, the where he said it the first time.
What he said? What?
I don't know when he said it the first time. So Dewey Wingard gave an interview
Okay.
where he talks about how much he loves Doug Peterson and he'd run through a wall for him.
Sure.
And then the end of the very next game they won. I forget which game it was. I think it was the Raiders game where they came back from like 17 points down.
Yep.
And he just looks dead in the camera and just screams. It was always the blankety blank Jags.
That's all this is. Y'all are lame.
Bro, and
Boo.
it just stuck. Like it just this team, you started to see them sort of turn the corner, and you know they weren't playing scared anymore. And like they go out and they beat the Ravens, they beat the Cowboys, they beat the Titans. And it just all of a sudden like this team turns a corner. And it just that's our new rallying cry. It was always a
Hey,
Jags.
speaking
Nice.
of Wiley Wheeler, I want to give him a shout out. He was at the game with a poster board with our.
Oh yeah, the AFC South fan battle.
Yes,
Yeah.
I saw
Yeah.
that.
Yeah, hey, that's dope. Bro.
Wiley the legend.
Dude,
Yeah, that's dope,
I will literally buy that from you. Like no lie. I totally forgot because I think how did I see that picture? I can't remember.
I think it's in our group, right?
Yeah,
I saw it on
got it, bro.
Twitter, but
Yeah.
Wiley, if you're going this Saturday, hit
I
me
will
up, dude.
buy
We should meet
you.
up.
Yes, I will buy that sign from you because
I thought you
That
were going
was-
to say buy you a beer, but
I mean I'll buy you a beer deal, but
Yeah, I'll buy you a beer, dude.
to buy you a solar
Titans
bank.
games, I'm gonna do the same thing.
she'll buy you a solar bank.
Yeah,
So you
Shut
charge it at
up.
night.
you can borrow a solar charger on Saturday night.
Speaking of, I just want to give a shout out to Flame. I mean, I'm actually really glad that he's here because both of his team took L's in the same weekend to not make the playoffs. So welcome, Flame.
He has two teams.
he normally
yeah,
does,
yeah.
he normally
Yeah.
doesn't show up.
Yeah, he's a Packers and a Titans fan.
Ew, how's that even possible?
I don't know. He invested in Packers stock when the Titans were trash, and then decided to support two trash teams. So there he is.
He said, "Cal."
Hey, we got receipts there, Flame. Don't.
No, there's
No.
receipts, bro.
Yeah.
Nah, man, this man, Flame got a whole room full of Titan stuff, man. That man.
And behind our Titans poster
he's
are
got
Green Bay
Aaron
Packers
Rodgers.
poster. So don't let him fool you.
he's outdoing me right now.
That's like Ricky Fuqua being a Titans and a Cowboys fan.
He only posts the videos of the Titan stuff, but secretly he takes it off. It's like, all right, guys, we gotta change. You know how they like change fields when there's multiple games in the same game, like a basketball game and a football game? That's Flame at his house in his man cave. He's like, I gotta rip down all the Titan stuff and put up all the Packers stuff.
And it has like
It's like one of those
Mike
billboards that
Vrabel with like
changes.
hearts around him.
That's what the light switch does.
Here's the one when we play. So here's one from when we played in Tennessee, and I'll just play this one and we'll be over it. Here we go.
I've been over it.
Shut up.
Yeah, technology's not our strong suit.
No, man, here we go.
That's it. That's it.
That was lame.
But it started out, he comes around the corner at one of our home games, and he's just going ham. And he's like, it was always the Jags. Just like freaking out.
I'll just tell you guys what I've been telling people for a couple weeks. If you guys hate it, we love it. If you hate it, we love it.
I know, Flame. You big Titan, bro. Trust me, man. I know all the real ones. Yeah, I know all the
We
real
know when the
Go.
switch is off. You're
All right. Well, listen, to wrap
Flame,
this
do you
thing
have
up.
any autographed Aaron Rodgers jerseys?
He does.
Do you? Is it?
Just, yeah. It's when the switch is off.
To wrap this up, we'll go in order from last to first. Tell us where we find you on social medias, and we'll start with you, Matt Briggs.
Well, I mean, you can find me. You can find me at Texas Fan Battle on Wednesdays. Make sure you check us out tomorrow we'll have Hall of Fame inductee finalist John McClain. He gets to pick who goes to the Hall of Fame. And then the next week we'll have the best.
Ask them why they're not getting Fred Taylor in there, but go on.
I will. And then after that, we'll have the best Texans quarterback ever in franchise history, Matt Schaub, on the podcast.
That's cool.
So 8 o'clock Central.
Isn't he coming on here too?
Tuesdays. Yes.
During the off season?
That's pretty good.
Yes.
And Schaub will be coming on here during the off season, right?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
All right.
And,
Harish.
and A1 Day 1 Texans on Twitter.
Okay.
Yeah.
Harish, where do we find you?
Oh yes. Can we actually turn up the volume? You can find me at Chris Ballard is still a Colts GM. You can also find me. No, you can find me at the Uncle Gandhi. I will be posting spicy takes all off season about how the Colts won't do anything. So yeah, that's where you can find me.
And RJ will play your ode to Todd Downing as you tell us where to find you.
How do
I love it, man. Get Todd down and sorry ass out of here, man. Nah, but you can find me on the RJ show. Tennessee Titan Coliseum. Hey, but we're also gonna be doing big things. We paying up bets. We got Big Titan podcaster, the Titan Rusty, coming in we're doing it tomorrow. So
What's that Titanic song? You can play that.
So like I said, catch us tomorrow, 8 o'clock. We're gonna be doing Titans Coliseum. So it's gonna be a big
8 o'clock
show.
Central, right? 9 Eastern.
8 o'clock Central time. So
I will give
big
it to
show.
you. That's actually pretty.
Oh,
dope.
I will be on there because I made a bet with Morocco, and I can't.
We love Texans, Colts, and Jaguar fans on there too. So
And
I
I'm
may
gonna-
or may not have prepared a lot of comments to drop in the comment section. I may or may
I
not
think
have
we're
enough.
trying to
field day
steal
in
the
the comments
Texans
section,
time slot there.
Oh,
buddy.
and that's at 8 Central.
Yeah,
Right.
8 Central time. So
All right, and Josh Allen, where do we find you?
Man, this Saturday you can find me down at TIAA Bank Field watching the Jaguars beat the Chargers. We're gonna beat the brakes off them twice, like we were wont to do. And you can find me on the Jaguar, and on Twitter, just basking in the glory of the victorious Jaguars. Because like we said a few minutes ago, it was always the Jags. Always.
And you can find me on Twitter and Instagram at Sammy Football with an I. We thank you guys for tuning in. Oh, and on the Jaguar when Josh Allen invites me. We thank you guys for tuning in. We will see you for the last one of of season 4 before we go, right? Because we
it'll be the
jumpstart
last
season
episode.
5.
Yeah, it'll be last time.
So then we'll jumpstart season 5 and postseason. So we'll have playoff recaps throughout the rest of the season, and then we're almost done with season 4. That's crazy. I just want to throw that out there.
That is wild.
We are wrapping up season 4 of this podcast. That's crazy. We got
have
to
been
do
a-
something big. So just wait. Season 5 of this podcast is gonna be. It's gonna be a big one. I can't wait.
Yeah, we're gonna wrap up this season of the podcast with the Jaguars winning the Super Bowl.
Yeah, for the 5th anniversary, Matt has to actually come to Florida.
Whoa.
Wait, what?
We're gonna do it.
We're already working on the process of it. So
Yeah, we're gonna do like
what
an
are we working
in-person because, like, a fun fact too. I know we're trying to wrap this up, but me and Harish and Matt have been doing this podcast for 5 years, and like I've said before, if Matt called me tomorrow and said, "I need your help," I would jump on a plane to Kansas City very reluctantly. Okay, very reluctantly.
I don't
would fly to
blame you one bit.
As many snaps as possible.
I would fly to Kansas in a heartbeat to help him out, but we have never met in person. All the
shit, we
time that we've been
met
doing it. It
Harish.
feels like it.
I met
I met
Matt.
Harish and Josh Senior is the only ones I met.
Yeah, I haven't met any of
Well,
y'all
of course.
except for John Ha. I met John Ha, and then Matt Grieve. I've known since elementary school. So
Of course, I met Alex and Tanner because we were the ones who started the group. And
right,
yeah.
yeah. But I mean, as far as this podcast is concerned, it's just
Yeah,
blows.
shout out to Tanner getting ready to watch his team, the Chiefs, go on a playoff run.
Blowing up.
All right, guys. Well, thank you for tuning in. We'll see you next week.
Sam loves Jalen Ramsey.
Oh no, stop.